Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Best Buds podcast, episode 4, season 2. Four weeks. What is it? 28 days to create a habit. We're almost there. We're having a good time. Got a good episode for you guys this week. We'll get it going with the song of the week. Who wants to
I'll
go
start us
first?
off.
Go, yeah.
Start us off with you know what time it is. It's time for that reggae. We'll go with something. The very first song in my reggae album, my Rasta album, classic Bob Marley,
Mm.
a song that almost everyone should have heard in their life at least once. Is This Love by Bob Marley.
See,
Classic.
Bob Marley's got a couple songs that you want to say they're overplayed. That might be one of them.
Definitely.
It's like one of the best ones of that category.
It's so
You know?
good. So good.
And it's not like
So
a
good.
song that's overplayed where you hear it and you're like, you hear it and you're just like,
You're like, yes.
damn. Oh, okay. I'll follow that. My song of the week is, and Jasper put me on actually. Tyler the Creator album came out last week, I think, or sometime in last little bit. And the song Sticky on that album featuring Glorilla, Sexy Red, Lil Wayne is honestly one of the hardest songs I've heard this year. Crazy beat. Glorilla, I will proudly say I'm a Glorilla fan for sure. She is tough. But yeah, banger.
Yep, that's a good one. The beat on that one is something different. It's worth a listen. I think even if you never play it again, it's worth listening one time.
Yeah,
I
it's
gotta
different. It's
listen to
different.
it
It's
for
different.
sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead and go then. My song of the week, I kind of have two in my head, so I'll just give both because they're both different genres. So the first one is Scapegoats by Baby Keem, and it's off that Melodic Blue album.
Oh, dude, that
And if you haven't
album.
spun that in a while, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I know it's a classic for us three. Like,
He's Baby King.
Yeah. And then the next one is Lens by Frank Ocean. Really good song.
Two bangers
All
right there,
right,
Jack. Two
Jasper.
bangers right there.
You're trying to do to the audience, man.
Hey, Lens will put you in some type of mood. Looking through pictures.
Ah.
Be careful with that, audience.
Oh shit. Yeah. Those some bangers right there. Moving along, sports this weekend. There was more sports than I can think of right now, but because Chelsea drew to Man U today, that's all that's on my mind.
So tragic.
Yeah, we just,
Not completely disappointed, just
definitely not disappointed. I don't think we played that well,
lightly disappointed.
but Man U is just trash, man. It's just unbelievable allowing them to have a point. Besides that, Commanders won today. Some good NFL games, some good college football games, some money to be made. And
Yes, sir.
that's what comes to mind with sports with me this weekend. Halloween weekend. How was everybody's Halloween?
But mine was uneventful.
Uneventful?
Didn't do nothing.
Both of y'all uneventful?
Yeah, I'll second that. Pretty uneventful. Nothing like too out of the comfort zone, you know.
My sister had a Halloween party I wish I would have went to, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah, that looked like a good one. We had a party here Friday, and that was like the event, and then after that it was uneventful for me. It was a good time. Felt a little bit back to myself, and then, threw up and immediately didn't feel myself for till probably midday today. But no, it was a good time. And I think the real highlight of all of our Halloween weekends was the creation of a new Minecraft survival world.
Yeah.
And
Been grinding that.
that'll be coming to the channel shortly, and
We spent our Halloween
check the Twitch if you want to see
right
where
here in
we're
this
at.
chat,
But this is exactly what we've been doing for about 4 days now.
locked
Now, if
in.
anybody's listening that actually plays Minecraft, I want y'all to know the way we are creating our world is different than what you might think. So we're not just playing it just to like mess around, beat the game, whatever. Of course, we're gonna try to do that at some point. Our world is beautiful,
It's
okay, and it's curated, and that is what we're going for: a curated, beautiful, scenic world. And
Beautiful.
I think so far we're doing a good job.
Whole
But
lot of depth. Whole lot of depth.
you'd love to take a walk through it. You'd love to take a stroll through it. It's amazing. But yeah, so good Halloween, I'd say.
for
I mean,
sure,
I had a good time with the boys, man.
And moving along straight into the topic of today is kind of the boys and friendship and making friends, maintaining friends, and all that comes with it. So let's just dive straight into it because I know we're gonna have some good stuff to say. Immediately, what does it mean to be a good friend to you guys?
I think to be a good friend, you have to like accept your friends for who they are. Keep it real with them, but also let them be who they are. You know, for me, I think that that's my way of being a good friend. Now, there are certain people in your life that are real stubborn with you and are like not gonna let you do certain things, and those people can either be good or bad for you. But that's their way of being a friend, and I think those people are good at certain times, you know. But that's not what I would do, you know. If I see, I will tell you the truth, but let you learn the way that you're going to learn, because you can't force someone to grow.
Yeah, you've always been pretty real, I think, and
yeah.
that's an important thing.
I think the first thing that comes to my head, like just things that good friends do, like always answering your calls. And to me, that's a
Uh,
big like just being there for someone, even if it's just like, hey, I'm driving home from the gym. I haven't really talked to many people all day. Let me just get what's on my mind out. Like I can think of a couple people right now that are good friends just for that reason. But then there's like a balance with that, like supporting your friends, but then also like checking them when it's necessary. Like you can't. A good friend's not going to let you do something that'd be detrimental to yourself, or at least without like input. You know?
Yeah.
yeah, I like that. That's so like that's something that you've been doing since I've been in Raleigh. Cause I'm the type of friend that's like, you know, once we're separated, like go enjoy your experiences, and then the next time we see each other, we'll have more to talk about. But I like that. I really do like whenever I see you calling me or like having that conversation with a friend. I don't call my friends as often as I would like, but it's nice to talk to your friends for sure.
Yeah.
And
I think
it's nice to know that you can
like
call them too. Like that's immediately like somebody that you can just reach out to at any time.
yeah. And when you're like away from your friends, that just made me think of like with both of you guys, we'll go months without seeing each other in real life, but then once we're back together, it's like, dude, this is the best thing ever. You know, like
Yeah.
it's the same exact vibe that it was like in high school. So, I mean, that's
It's really
also a
crazy
true
too, like
sign of
how
a good
much
friend.
we've changed as well. Like the friendship hasn't changed, but as an individual, we've all changed a lot. It's crazy.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I think that's a part of friendship that people struggle with is when people do change. And kind of like what you touched on, Zion, like accepting that change and like letting that person be themselves. Um, and
And
I think
Queen
that's
Lauren Hill said, if it's not everything that is living is growing or changing, if it's not changing, then it's dead.
yeah, and that's a huge part of life and friendship, and that's something that I think I'm super grateful to have great friends like you guys that have seen me grow from the day we've met, and I think we've only gotten closer as time has gone on.
For
So
sure.
that's awesome. And kind of going off of that, you you have friends in life that that there's different level of friends in life, basically, I think is a way to put it. How do you know if somebody is a true friend, and how do you know if somebody might just be not a, I don't want to say a fake friend, but a phony friend, maybe.
The first thing that comes to mind, and this kind of like has been a thing in my life recently that I've been able to pick up. When someone's like actively listening to you instead of just like having something already prepared in their mind to say when you're telling them something, like when they're actually, I don't know, like giving you their full attention and then genuinely listening. I think that's a good sign of a good friend. Because there's definitely people that like you'll be trying to tell a story or whatever, or trying to relate to something, and then they'll just try to like one up you,
or it's just in one
I don't
ear
know.
out the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a super casual, like almost like you're talking to an NPC. Like it doesn't matter what you're gonna say; they already had their little input that they're gonna go to.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think a cool part about at least our friends, I think, is like all of our friends in our kind of circle have a different way of giving input when they're listening, and like so you start to learn like, oh, this person might not like be looking at me or like acting like they're listening, but they're they're getting it because we've been friends for so long.
I
And so
think.
go ahead.
Sorry, I
No, no,
think
no.
like it's hard to say what when someone is a true friend, because friend is like, I mean, to me, the way I live life, if I see you even for a moment, if I'm sitting next to you waiting on a DoorDash order, like to me, you're my friend. We're here. We're here together in real life. This is I'm cool with you. You're cool with me. We can be friends. I think that like a friendship gets stronger the more time you spend with someone. So even if it's someone that you don't like, people we're all very different, but the more time you spend someone, the more you realize that we're both humans and we're really like it's different struggles, but it's the same struggle. And so the more time you spend with someone, the more you realize, oh, this guy is going through the same things as me. He's just handling it differently and it's being presented to him differently. So I feel like once you spend enough time with someone, no matter really who it is, you could be, anywhere, like in prison. Your prison mate's cool, like he's in prison with you, but that's the guy you're spending time with. You start to realize that they're human
Yeah,
deep down. For me, that's how it is. For me,
I
that's how it is.
I like how you worded that, and I think I then in my mind connect with like what Jasper said to that is like then I think it comes down to how much time, and it's kind of the same thing, but how much time you invest in that person,
Yeah.
and how much attention you invest, and
Yeah. So
that's what sets
there's
apart levels of friendship.
yeah, there's like intentionally investing time, and then for us, we spent a lot of time was invested because of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
We were just in a situation where we spent a lot of time
We had
together.
no
So even if
choice.
we
We
didn't
had
like
no
each other
choice.
before or not, we spent so much time and we've seen so many different sides of ourselves. We've all seen ourselves in different situations that it's like you start to see that what this person may normally present to everyone else. I've seen something a little different, and that alone makes me feel like I'm closer with you. You know what I'm saying?
And
Mm-hmm.
that's a cool thing about, I guess, like y'all had a friendship before because of middle school, correct?
Pretty. I mean, a while back,
Elementary
honestly.
school, since
I
y'all was
mean,
some
we were
jits.
we were really close. Me and Jasper became really close. Like in high school is whenever we became really close. But we've known each other since
O-
jits for real.
Okay, so then like then you would say like our friendship altogether kind of started with Pinecrest basketball.
Basically, whenever Jasper started dating your friend, and then we all started hanging out. That's whenever
Yeah.
we all became really, really close. Because at first it was just me and you, Jasper, and then we started hanging. Because we didn't really hang out with anyone until you started dating his friend,
Yeah.
and then we all started chilling heavy, even outside of basketball. That was whenever we started investing time outside of basketball.
Mhm. Mhm.
Up
I
to that
guess.
point, it was really like we were a package deal.
Yeah, I was just with you. I
Yeah.
was I was just that third wheel.
We had like a 2-man friend group going on.
We did.
uh,
Oh Oh my gosh. No, I
But
mean
I would have thought I
that goes
wanted
into what I was
to.
gonna say next.
Is it-
Go
oh,
ahead.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, it's how do you keep and develop a great friendship? So that's what we're talking about already.
Yeah, I think shared experiences, bottom line, for human connection is what's gonna make you closer to someone. And I think the more, like, I don't know, surface level things you can relate with, kind of like, if you don't have that shared experience, that's what's gonna kind of lead to friendships, lead to like comfortability, like just random things in common, you know? But then when you add in the shared experiences and things in common, that's when you start to have more and more experiences together. And then eventually, I feel like that's what kind of have.
That's when you make a podcast.
That's when you make a
You
podcast and you
just start
start
talking.
playing Minecraft together and all that type of stuff.
No, at this point in our lives, I think we've been friends now long enough, and we've all opened up to each other on like a deep enough level that we could go a year without seeing each other, but we're gonna see each other at least once a week, like virtually or however. And I think that, yeah, basketball, going through that, and then starting to hang out more in high school and having those experiences.
And then me and you moved in together.
And then we moved in together. And
even
then,
before that, like during COVID, whenever
oh,
we were
bro.
hanging out, that was lit.
But we've always just been so real with each other and so open and honest. And I think that is a huge key to developing
Yeah.
great friendships.
You have to be, because whenever you are real, you don't have to be, but whenever you're real with yourself and you outwardly express that, I like to think of people as this. I like to think of people as either you're a mirror or you're see-through glass. And I like to think of myself as see-through glass because I'm gonna give off my energy, and most people are mirrors. They're gonna bounce that energy right back to me. You feel me? But if you're a mirror and you're giving off negative energy to another mirror, you guys are both just giving off negative energy to each other.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm being real with you and I'm giving off that realness and you're a mirror, then you're gonna find the realness within yourself and give it back to me. So just being real like all the time for me it helps me, be cool with anybody really.
I think that that's a
And the
big
reason
thing too.
the reason why I say
I
I'm
agree.
glass is because I feel like I'm emotionally uh, aware of myself so much that whenever someone does give me negativity, I let it go through me instead of bouncing it back at other people, and I continue to vibrate my own energy. So that's why I like to think of myself as glass instead of a mirror.
Yeah, I like that, bro. There's a lot of negativity out there, for sure, especially now. But that makes me think, like, for me, in all the friendships that I have, like, when I think about the levels of it, like, our friendship it's a high level, like, you guys are, like, some of my closest friends. And when I think about, like, the levels below, what kind of separates it is, am I able to be, like, completely vulnerable with that person? Do I feel like they're gonna judge me? And naturally, now, like, I'm confident. You can judge me, I don't care. But it's still that, like, human response, like, I'm gonna put a little guard up or maybe, like, refrain from being, like, completely honest,
It's just the
you know?
first thought that comes to mind. Yeah. Whenever you think about opening up to somebody, regardless of.
I mean, you want to protect your peace, protect
Yeah.
your energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think that's one of the biggest things for me, like, can I really, like, just break down in front of you and, like, kinda, like, not trauma dump, but, like, give you my situation fully, and are you able to, like, hear me out, or
Yeah. I don't
just look to I don't know.
Trauma dumping is like, it's not entirely real. It's real, but it's when you cling to the past. What's real is the present moment. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when people are constantly clinging to the past, they're bringing something that once was real and they're trying to make it real right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's pretty deep, bro.
So like, it's good to like, you can relate to people on those like trauma dumping experiences. We go back and forth and we can relate on things like that. But I feel like if you're not growing from it and you're like attached to it, it's
Mm.
kind of like everything's good in moderation. It's good to understand your past. You don't want to like ignore it. You want to acknowledge it, but you don't want it to control you. And this is actually a good segue into like another huge thing that is going to help you with making friends and being at peace is forgiveness. Forgiveness is not you giving another person peace, it's you giving yourself peace with what they're doing. So I I found myself trauma dumping just like everyone else. And I used to really cling to it until because I had always wondered why I was such an angry kid. And I finally got to a point where I forgave myself and I was able to let go of that angry kid. And now my relationship with myself is really, really good. And I don't know, forgiveness is just such a huge thing, man. Like it's changed a lot of my relationships with people. And like I said, it's not so much changed how they act towards me, but it changed how I react towards what they're giving me. Because I understand like you're struggling just like I am, and although what you're saying, I know you're trying to hurt me, and even in that present moment, like I forgive you for trying to hurt me because I know that hurt people hurt people. So it's all right.
Yeah, I think that's something that, like you said, causes a lot of ripples in friendships and relationships because um, one or both sides aren't understanding that we're all just human at the end of the day. And yeah, there's bad people out there that try to do bad things, I think.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like we're all supposed to make mistakes, learning from them and how you learn from them is how you improve yourself, and that's how you improve your friendships as well. Um, you know,
Yeah, you know that saying that's like it's kind of like a you are what you eat. Like the people you surround yourself are immediately like what you're going to be, are eventually going to be what you become.
yeah, exactly.
I like that saying, and the forgiveness thing. Like I feel like all that stuff comes in moderation because I am very forgiveful person, but I'm also not going to surround myself. I'm going to be able to be comfortable with you even if you're trying to drag me down. But I'm not going to continue to put myself in a position to be dragged down. There's also this other saying, uh, it's harder for, it's easy for someone that's going down to pull you down with them whenever you're around them all the time. And this is probably not for everyone, but for me, I like to think that I'm strong enough and comfortable enough with myself and conscious enough with myself that even if I am around, I don't want to falter to that. If I'm with someone that's trying to drag me down, I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna double down on being who I am, and I'm gonna continue to be myself. And either they're gonna come up with me, or their energy's not gonna want to be around me anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
There's definitely a good like. I'm not trying to tell people to like constantly forgive someone that's always looking to hurt you. Like you should constantly forgive someone that's always looking to hurt you, but there's a difference between forgiving them and continuing to put yourself in a position where if you know you can't handle what they're doing, then you need to take yourself out of the situation. Me
100%.
personally, I know that I can handle a lot of things because I know that I'm emotionally secure. So I'm not going to intentionally put myself in a bad situation, but I know that if I'm in one, I can handle what's going on. We lost Jasper.
Lloyd.
I was talking about the balance of like forgiveness and not getting too caught up, like not putting yourself in a bad situation, but also for me personally, being able to handle a bad, like I know I can handle a bad situation. If I'm not gonna put myself there, but if I'm there, I know that I. An example is like I've had friends where they're doing something that they know I wouldn't approve of, so now I'm not seeing them that much. It's not that, and it's not that they're looking for my approval. It's just that they know that it's not something that I would want to be around. So they're not gonna bring it around me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It could be
I can
their way
relate
of
to
being
that for
respectful.
sure.
You said what?
It could be their way of being respectful in a way because they know you don't, you know,
Yeah.
want to be included. But I think that goes well into, like you said, like kind of being able to be vulnerable and forgiving and all those things that you touched on into making friends in new places, which is something that we've all had to experience in the last 2 years. A couple of us different places, and it's nice to have close friends like we do with each other and some other people, but you definitely making friends in new places is really important, I think.
I feel like especially as you get older.
Yeah, and just
I feel like little
for
kids
your
are just
mental
like,
health, dude. Like you need people in person, physically
yeah.
in front of you that you can be real with, and that you can do things with. So, what have you guys done to make new friends in the new places you're in?
Um, like, mm, I think it goes down to shared experiences. Like, I guess back to that. That's kind of naturally happens in a way if you have like for Zion, kickboxing, for me, school, whatever. But um, one thing I will say is like I think having a strong self identity is the best way to make friends in a new place. Like, and what I mean by that is kind of taking what you've like. I'm thinking about my situation. I moved to Charleston, and it's like I kind of have this fresh chance to like start over.
Mm-hmm.
So I could choose like, okay, what type of person do I want to be? What type of person am I? You know, I kind of had that conversation with myself, and then I think once you develop that strong sense of like identity, like what I don't like, you know, what are my wants, what are my needs, blah 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 blah. That kind of allowed me to see like, okay, this person, I really like this person because of this. Maybe not this thing, but I'll still hang out with them, you know?
No, I
And that's
think,
kind of been the way I've been doing it. But
but I think that's a great point because I think a beautiful part of friendship is that a bit of ourselves is in our friendship. Like if we're around each other, we're gonna lift, we're gonna go hoop or we're gonna go play footy or we're gonna game. Like that's just part of who we are as friends and a little bit of who we are. Like when we're on our own, we'll still do some of those things. But I think like you're saying, being completely on your own or at least away from the friends of your past that you've already made, which both of you are definitely in. Jasper definitely in Zion. Like you have some people that but like Jasper don't really know anybody, or you didn't really know anybody. And so, like you said, like figuring out what you like to do on your own is like, oh, I still like to lift, so I'm gonna be lifting, like, and I might make
mm-hmm.
friends that way, or I'm still gonna try and play like pickup or find someone and make friends that way, or study groups. Like you figure out what you want to do, and that's something that I feel like since like Bodie moved and like Tate I've known obviously, but I didn't grow up with Tate, so it's a little bit different, and I'm also on my own more now, so I'm figuring out who I am and the things I want to do and then the people I want to be around. But that was a long-winded answer of I think I agree
I
with
think
you.
the best way to make new friends is to find that energy within yourself that you're super comfortable with. Smile at other people, laugh at little things, and just be that good energy that you like to feel. You got to find it within yourself and just vibrate that out. Vibrate that to anyone that, even if it's a 2 minute conversation, smile at them, like just give off that good energy because they'll feel it. And I like to, I like to just be in that good energy. You know what I'm saying? And and I say that because like I've made a lot of friends fighting other fighters from other gyms. like not even like training fighting, but actually at the events and fighting. People come up to me, and every time someone comes up to me, I greet them with a smile, and I'm just like, thanks, man. Like I'm super grateful that you thought I did good, and happy to meet you, and just be in the moment and be happy that you have the opportunity to connect with people that you never know what you've got in front of you. But yeah, just find that energy within yourself. Find the energy that you like to soak in, and figure out a way to direct that at other people, and just be kind to people. And like I said, if it's not, if they're not a kind person, they don't like that type of energy, then they won't be around. They won't want to be around you.
Yeah, then you're good.
Yeah, I think that's extremely well put.
Yeah,
And
beautiful.
you can add that on to like with the things that you like to do, say you like to lift or you like to go to the gym, then have that same energy at the gym. You keep going, all of a sudden you're going to keep having those same interactions. You're going to start stacking those nice interactions. All of a sudden that person comes up to you with something to say because they feel comfortable, you
Yeah, I
know?
think that lightheartedness. I'll laugh at anything, man. I'll laugh at bad situations. Like door dashing today, I had to wait, like it was super busy. Like I had to wait like extra 30 minutes to get food. I went to this other place and some dude was waiting there, and he was like grumbling under his breath, like, "Oh, this sucks. Like I've been waiting here forever." And he said, "Man," he looked at me. He was like, "Man, I've been waiting here forever." I kind of chuckled a little bit. I said, "Yeah, man. I mean, it's a busy night. I just got done waiting 20 minutes, and I'm here to pick up the order. So hopefully they have it ready for me now." And I smiled at him, and he was, and like immediate. My first interaction with him was him like complaining and everything, and they bring out his food, and he's like, "Oh, finally it's here." I'm like, and I said something and like smiled and laughed at him, and he gave me some dap. So it's just like I barely really even said anything, but just the fact that I was smiling and the fact that I had that positive energy, even though we were both waiting a while and we're both doing DoorDash, which absolutely sucks. He still left dapped me up, and saying have a good night, and all that good stuff. So
Having that positive mindset is huge. Just putting positivity out on the world. Not
Yeah.
only
yeah, you'll
for
make a lot of
yourself,
friends,
but
man, if you smile at
exactly.
people. Just try that. Just try smiling more at people, man. I swear, like people that give off that same energy know what it feels like.
Yeah, we're all human at the end of the day too, and that's something I think a lot of people overlook. It's like they're everybody's dealing with some of the same stuff, some of the different things, but everybody's dealing with stuff, and
Cling
sometimes
cling on to the child within you.
yeah,
And
it
some
doesn't
people
hurt to
might
speak
need to
up.
need to have that interaction, like
Exactly.
Yeah.
that nice little
Don't
interaction change
don't
their whole.
take yourself super serious. I like to be unserious. Like don't take yourself super seriously, man. Not all the time. There's a time and a place, but like with casual stuff,
Yeah,
it's okay. I like to look dumb sometimes. I like to be unserious. Like
I
it
think
keeps me playful.
something that I think back to constantly in my life, and it's probably been what now, like 8 9 years, I guess, since we started out in with Pinecrest basketball, and Coach Schneider went to the whiteboard or whatever and drew the circle, and then the smaller circle is like the controllables and the uncontrollables. And
Yeah,
first of all, to me, that like, looking back on it, to have a coach that like prepared you
that's a
so
that's a
well
life lesson.
to look
Mm-hmm.
an outlook on life changed our lives. Really, it did,
That,
because we
that's
we lived and worked by these
and the
values.
fact that he made us write it out and draw it out on our own papers too really instilled it in us.
And I think back to it almost daily when something bad happens and I'm like, dang, I'll be like, oh, I didn't have any control over that, so I let me
Let it
change
be.
my outlook on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
um
you can control your reaction though, and I think that's
exactly.
what you were saying earlier.
Exactly. I think this is a great ending message for the episode. um spread positivity, be yourself. You'll make friends
Yeah,
along the way.
y'all go listen to that reggae. Seriously.
Oh man. But yeah, that was good. That was good, boys. We appreciate everybody who's been tuning in, giving us feedback, support. Um,
We love y'all.
yeah, man. We
Yeah, that's who we
we
do it
enjoy
for,
doing
man.
them. Yeah, yeah. It's for y'all. So appreciate you guys. Like we said earlier, we're crafting. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see the Minecraft videos at some point. You can click on it. You can click on it. But yeah, we got some exciting things planned for the podcast in the upcoming months. So definitely stay tuned if you're enjoying. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Hey! What?